Assalamu Alaikum. Did you know that the Quran, revealed over 1400 years ago, contains miracles that continue to shock scientists and amaze believers to this day? Some of these miracles were only discovered with modern technology. In this video, we'll dive into 10 shocking miracles in the Quran that you've probably never heard about. Stay tuned, because number 7 is something that will completely blow your mind. Let's start with one of the most astonishing scientific miracles in the Quran. In Surah Adh-Dhariyat, verse 47, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "And the heaven we constructed with strength, and indeed we are its expander." This verse talks about the expansion of the universe, something scientists only discovered in the 20th century with the Big Bang theory and Hubble's law. Yet the Quran mentioned this over 1400 years ago. This proves that the Quran contains knowledge beyond human comprehension at the time of its revelation. Now, let's talk about iron, one of the most important elements on earth. In Surah Al-Hadid verse 25, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "And we sent down iron, wherein is great military might and benefits for the people." Modern science tells us that iron is not naturally formed on earth. It came to our planet through meteorites from space billions of years ago. The Quran mentions iron as something that was sent down, aligning perfectly with modern discoveries about its extraterrestrial origin. In Surah Al-Furqan, verse 53, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes a natural phenomenon that was only recently confirmed. It is He who has released simultaneously the two seas, one fresh and sweet and one salty and bitter, and He placed between them a barrier. This verse refers to the miracle of two seas meeting but not mixing. Oceanographers have discovered that when two seas with different salinity levels meet, a barrier forms between them that keeps them from mixing. Yet the Quran spoke of this centuries before it was scientifically understood. One of the most shocking miracles in the Quran is its description of embryonic development. In Surah Al-Mu'minun, verses 12 to 14, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "We created man from an extract of clay. Then we made him a drop in a secure place of rest. Then we made the drop into a clinging clot, and we made the clot into a lump. And we made from the lump bones, and we covered the bones with flesh." This detailed description of how a human embryo forms matches modern embryology, something that wasn't known until the development of microscopes. This is yet another clear sign that the Quran is not just a religious book, but a source of divine knowledge. Did you know the Quran also mentions the layers of the atmosphere? In Surah Al-Mulk, verse 3, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "It is He who created 7 heavens in layers." Modern science has discovered that Earth's atmosphere is made up of several distinct layers, each serving a unique function, from blocking harmful radiation to regulating temperature. This scientific reality was mentioned in the Quran centuries before it was known to mankind. In Surah An-Nur, verse 40, the Quran gives a vivid description of the depths of the ocean. "Or they are like darknesses within an unfathomable sea which is covered by waves, upon which are waves, over which are clouds." This verse refers to internal waves deep within the ocean, which were discovered by scientists only in the last century. These waves occur beneath the surface and act just like the visible waves on the ocean. The accuracy of this description is mind-blowing, especially considering no one at the time could dive deep enough to witness these phenomena. Now, this miracle will leave you speechless. In Surah Yunus verse 92, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "So today, we will save you in body that you may be to those who succeed you a sign." This verse refers to the body of Pharaoh being preserved as a sign for future generations. In 1898, archaeologists discovered the mummified body of Pharaoh Ramses II, and it is still preserved today. This verse predicted the discovery of Pharaoh's body more than 1,000 years before it happened. In Surah An-Naba, verses 6 to 7, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes mountains as having a crucial function. Have we not made the earth as a bed and the mountains as pegs? Modern geology tells us that mountains act as stabilizers for the earth's crust, preventing it from shaking excessively. The description of mountains as pegs is shockingly accurate and perfectly reflects their role in stabilizing tectonic plates. Here's a miracle related to modern medicine. In Surah An-Nisa, verse 56, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Indeed, those who disbelieve in our verses, we will drive them into a fire. Every time their skins are roasted through, we will replace them with other skins so they may taste the punishment." This verse hints at the discovery that pain receptors are located in the skin. When the skin is destroyed, pain is no longer felt. Scientists only discovered this in recent decades, yet the Quran referenced it over 1400 years ago. Finally, let's talk about one of the most shocking verses about the movement of mountains. In Surah An-Naml, verse 88, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "And you see the mountains, thinking them rigid, while they will pass as the passing of clouds." This verse describes the motion of mountains due to the Earth's rotation, something that was only discovered with modern astronomy. This movement, which is imperceptible to the naked eye, was mentioned in the Quran long before the concept of continental drift or plate tectonics was known. Subhanallah. The Quran continues to amaze us with its divine wisdom and miracles that have only been confirmed by modern science. These 10 shocking miracles are just a glimpse of the countless signs that prove the Quran is the word of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Share this video with others, and let's spread the message of the Quran far and wide. Jazakallah khair for watching.